I kept telling my son we'd go fishing. Soon, buddy, when I get a weekend off. He'd always nod, trusting, holding that hope like it was a promise. Sometimes he'd sit beside me while I worked, flipping through an old fishing magazine we picked up at a garage sale. He'd ask questions about the lures and the knots and the best time to catch bass. I'd smile and say, "We'll try that soon." But the weekends slipped by, buried under deadlines, meetings, and the quiet guilt that comes from watching your child wait. There was always one more email, one more client call, one more thing that felt urgent but never truly mattered. I thought I had time. Then one Sunday morning, I stumbled into the kitchen, still half asleep, expecting to see him at the table, cartoon playing in the background, cereal box in hand. Instead, I found a note on the counter. "Gone fishing with Jake's family. Back by dinner." Just 8 words, scribbled in blue crayon on a torn piece of notebook paper, but they landed like a punch. Jake's dad works 2 jobs. I knew that. I'd seen him come home in greasy overalls, still smiling, still tossing a ball around with his kids. Yet somehow, he made time. He made memories. While I, with my flexible job and home office, kept saying next time. That hit me hard. My son had been asking for years. I kept putting it off, thinking it had to be some grand event, a weekend away, a cabin by the lake, brand new rods and gear. I thought it needed to be perfect. I didn't realize he didn't care about any of that. All he wanted was me. That evening, he came home with sunburned cheeks and muddy shoes. He was glowing. At dinner, he couldn't stop talking. He told me about the worms they dug up, how Jake's dad taught him how to tie a fisherman's knot, how they laughed when the boat almost tipped, and how they caught a tiny fish and threw it back like pros. He listened to all my story, he said, beaming, "Even the ones you already know." I nodded and smiled, but my chest ached. I sat there, watching his excitement, realizing I'd given him everything: food, clothes, toys, gadgets, but not what mattered most, my time. That night, I didn't sleep much. I kept thinking of the missed chances, the days I said, "Not now," and the quiet moments he'd spent waiting for me. Kids don't stay kids forever. Someday, he wouldn't ask anymore. So the next Sunday, I did something different. I stood at his doorway before breakfast, holding 2 rods, a dusty tackle box, and a nervous smile. I had no idea what I was doing. My hands were shaky, my back ached from barely slept hours, but my heart was steady. "Let's go see what's biting," I said. He looked at me, really looked, and then he grinned. That grin I hadn't seen in too long. We didn't drive far, just a small public pond a few towns over. The gear was mismatched, the bait store was half closed, and I tangled the line twice before he corrected me. But none of that mattered. He told me about school, about his science project, about the kid who brought a frog to class and scared everyone. I laughed, I listened. We ate soggy sandwiches. We got soaked by surprise rain. We didn't catch a single fish worth keeping, but we caught something else: connection, trust, joy, time we both needed more than we realized. As the sun dipped low, he leaned against me and said, "This was the best day ever." I swallowed hard and nodded, pretending the breeze made my eyes water. We didn't just catch fish. We caught up on something I didn't know we'd lost.